right. Hey everyone, huge welcome to the Foundation Formula Bootcamp and welcome to your lesson 1. Of course, I am always really excited to kick off new trainings. I say that genuinely. But I want to take a second to just really thank you for being part of this particular bootcamp, for being part of this particular training. I know there's a lot of other trainings and programs and coaches out there that are doing kind of similar things. And I really don't take it lightly, you investing with me, truly. And so I really do appreciate you being here. I really appreciate you being part of this training. And I want you to know that really when we talk about the foundation of your business, when we talk about who you are, what you do, what you offer, your ideal customer, all of those kind of things, I want you to understand that, I don't want to say that this is my life's work because that feels a little bit silly at the age of 32, but this program is everything to me. When we talk about zone of genius, when we talk about things that fire you up, this is what the foundation of your business is to me. This is something I feel so strongly and so passionately about. And so again, I really appreciate you being here and you kind of allowing me in on your journey with all of this, because again, it's so meaningful to me and it's something that I enjoy helping you with so incredibly much. I know that a lot of you know my story, and so I don't want to kind of recap all of that, but really, when I was struggling to launch my coaching business in early/mid 2014, I was stuck for a really, really, really long time. I spent so much time and money and energy trying to figure these things out, trying to figure out how I was going to help people, trying to figure out who my ideal client was, trying to figure out what I was actually going to offer them. And I made this so much harder than it needed to be. And so really, I wanted to create the program that I wish existed when I was in that place, when I was overcomplicating everything. Trust me when I say I know what it feels like to be stuck in your own head, to be going through these concepts over and over again. You're thinking about it all the time, but week after week, month after month, you're not actually making any progress because you're stuck inside your own head, overthinking all of this. Again, please trust me when I say I was there. I was in that prison of my own mind for months and months and months. And so again, this program to me represents simplifying all of this. This program represents how to get started now and put things forward and take action and to stop overthinking this all so you can start making progress and then go back and have your business evolve and change over time. It's supposed to do that, right? But I find that so many of us, we get caught up in the long-term success of our business and what we're going to be doing 2 years from now, and all these nitty-gritty kind of details that don't actually matter when it comes to making progress and getting results now. So again, this program is what I wish existed 2 or 2.5 years ago. I wish I had somebody telling me that, Sarah, you can keep this simple. You don't have to be everything to everybody. You can do a few things, do them really well, and your business can move forward and evolve over time. So again, the whole concept of this program is to stop overthinking, to keep things simple, and to really figure out what problems you solve, who you solve them for, and how you solve them, and then to rock the hell out of these things in your marketing. Because really, we can't market our businesses successfully if we can't sit there and say who we are and what we do and who we do it for and what programs we offer that solve those problems, right? We can't expect a sales funnel or a webinar or a Facebook ad or any of these other kind of things to be successful if we don't know who we are and what we do as a coach, right? So again, the whole goal of this program is to help you have that clarity around these things. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again probably a bunch of times in this program, but really keeping it simple is freedom. Simplicity in all of this allows you to get clarity so much faster than most people do. Again, you don't have to be everything to everyone or do anything and everything to have a successful business. All that matters is what you do, who you do it for, and how you do it. And then as you evolve, as time goes by, you can go through these steps again when you're ready to create the next program or to create the next step of your business, stage of your business. This is why I've called it a formula. It's something that you can and probably should do over and over again. These steps are really things that I go through every time I create something new. I really take that time to figure out, okay, what do I do around this specifically? How do I help people? Who is this program for? What program program can I create to get somebody from where they are now to where they want to be? And then I go through the steps again when I launch something new, and again when I launch something new, right? Again, our businesses aren't supposed to be something that we figure things out one time, it's perfect, and then it lasts us forever. This is a process. It's always going to evolve. So again, simplicity in who you are, what you do, who you do it for, and how you do it, and then taking action on those things is going to make a huge difference in your business. And again, that's what I'm here to guide and support you through. So just some main themes of this program that I really want you to keep in mind as we go through everything. So number one, this, I really believe, is simple. Now, there was, definitely a time in my business where I would have thought you were crazy if you told me that this was simple, because it felt so hard in my head. But again, this is all about solving problems. That's it. People pay money to have their problems solved. So it's all about you figuring out a few problems that you can solve right now, and then the pieces from there, right? Who you solve them for and how you solve them. Allow this to be simple. I know that so many of us, we have this big picture of our business in mind, and we don't want to leave anybody out, and we don't want to be confusing, all these other things. But again, this is simple. You're likely the one that's making it so hard. So allow yourself to believe that this can be simple. I want you to really remember and embrace the fact that as you have a business, as you own a business, you should be operating your business from a place of passion, from a place of confidence, from a place of intention, and from a place of alignment. These 4 words are going to be really important in this program, right? Because of the fact that number one, you're an entrepreneur for a reason. I don't want you doing things and sharing things that you don't actually care about. Everything that you do should be from a place of passion. It should be something that you're excited to share, because otherwise, why the hell are you doing this? I want you to operate from a place of confidence, because really, if you're out there sharing your message and sharing what you have to offer and you're not confident about it, how the hell is anybody else going to be confident about what you're offering, right? You need to stand tall and strong and proud in what you offer people and what you do. And again, so the whole goal of this program, especially lesson 1, is to start to get you on the road to that. Intention and alignment are 2 really important words for me, and they kind of go hand in hand. But I want you to be in a situation where your business starts to function with kind of a formula, right? You know what you're marketing, you know how you're going to market it, you know what pieces in place you have when it comes to your free content, when it comes to your sales funnels, when it comes to the things that you're actually doing. They should be intentional and they should be in alignment with one another. I don't want you staring at your computer screen and wondering, having no clue what you're going to post about in your Facebook group or your Facebook profile, whatever it is. I want you to be able to, again, really stand tall and strong in who you are as a coach, and therefore every action you're going to take, whether it's your marketing or whether it's your creating a new program, everything should be done intentionally and with alignment. And so again, you can't do those things unless you have these foundational pieces down pat. And again, this is what this program is all about. One thing that I want you to remember as we progress through this program is that people can and will spend money when they see that they can get the results that they desire and that their problems will be solved. I think this is such a logical statement, and it's something that's so obvious, but I feel like so many of us as entrepreneurs, as we progress through our business, we're trying to make those sales. We want money to be coming in, and we're so emotional about the success of our business. We want it so badly for so many different reasons. And I think in so many cases, we allow those emotions to take over rather than operating from a logical place, right? So I use this statement, and I'm going to use it many times, that logically people spend money when they get results. They see that they can get what they want. So again, I want you to make all of your decisions as you move forward in this program from that logical place. What problems do you solve? Who do you solve them for? And how do you solve them? When you have clarity around those 3 things, you can accomplish anything in the world you want to accomplish, right? I believe when you get these concepts, making money becomes simple, and you have the opportunity to truly be unstoppable in your business, because it's just a rinse and repeat cycle. You show up with passion. You show up with confidence. You show people you can solve their problems. You show them that in your marketing and in the programs that you're creating. Money becomes making that money become simple, because you're just getting in front of an audience that knows and appreciates what you're sharing and understands that you can give them the solutions that they want. It's just something you keep building onto once you have these pieces in place. So please understand all of this as we go through this program, as we go through the content here, because this can be simple. It doesn't have to be so hard. Again, it's about what problems you solve, who you solve them for, and how you solve them. And once you know these things, once you can showcase these things to your audience, you are unstoppable. Truly. I really believe that so strongly. I feel like I'm going to be repeating a lot of the points that I'm making through this program. But that's because I want you to understand the simplicity of it all. I want you to understand that this doesn't have to be so freaking complicated, right? Keep this simple, focus on the things that matter. And I do believe that your business can transform, not just from a standpoint of making more money, but from a standpoint of it feeling better to you. Your business feels good. Again, it's intentional, it's aligned. You know what you're doing and why. Every little step that you're taking makes sense, as opposed to you throwing things up against the wall, hoping they stick. And again, when you understand these themes, when you understand these concepts, I believe your business can transform dramatically in all ways. So your goals for lesson 1, as we talk a little bit about who you are as a coach, are to, number 1, to really get simple clarity around how you help people, right? What is it that you provide for other people that gives them results? I want you to really know what problems you help ideal clients solve from a passionate, confident place. I want you to really narrow down exactly what you stand for as a coach, so you can stop being vague, you can stop being generic in everything that you do, and instead you can start to stand out to those people who actually need you. I say this all the time, but I'm a really big believer that your ideal customers and clients are out there right now struggling. They're struggling to find you. They're struggling to know that you exist, right? So we want to make sure that you can clearly articulate and not be so generic about how you help these people, so that when they see you, when they find you, when they're attracted to you, it can be so clearly obvious that yes, you are the person to help them, right? And we can't do that if we're just saying vague, generic things. So I want it to be really clear what you stand for as a coach, so that those ideal clients can see you and know that you are the coach for them. And then finally, I want you to learn how to really embrace your own individual story and experience, so that you can start to attract those new customers. Because when you can share that you've been through a similar situation, or you can share why what you do has been so beneficial in your life, again, I think it makes working with you a real no-brainer for your ideal customers. It makes them feel that much more attracted to you, that much more confident that you can be the person to help them with what they need help with. So again, I want you to understand how to embrace all of this and to connect all of the dots, so that you are in this starting point where you know who you are as a coach. So just again, kind of to drill this into your head here, why is this so important? First and foremost, again, people will spend money when they see that they can get the results that they desire and the problems that they have can be solved by working with you. Therefore, it's crucial that you can articulate what solutions and results that you provide, what solutions and results someone can expect from working with you. It is not enough to say, hey, I'm a health coach. Hey, I'm a business coach. Health can mean a million different things. Business can mean a million different things. People want to see that they can have their problem solved. The specific struggles, the specific issues they're going through, they want to see that by spending their money with you, these things will no longer be a problem, right? Somebody is going to be a hell of a lot more likely to spend money if you show them you can specifically help them with one problem, as opposed to saying, hey, I can help you with your health, or hey, I can help you with your business. People want to feel confident that by doing this investment, by spending their money, they're going to walk away in 30, 90, whatever it is, however many days, they're going to walk away with XYZ problem solved. So again, this all starts with you showing people, hey, this is what I do. This is how I help people. This is what I'm all about. And by working with me, here's how I'm going to help you specifically. You don't have to be everything to everyone. Please keep this in mind. I find that so many coaches, They decide that they're going to be a business coach, or they decide that they're going to be a health coach and feel like they need to represent everything under the sun when it comes to business or when it comes to health. And that just doesn't have to be the case. Being specific around what you do is going to serve you so much more than being vague, or so much more than trying to do everything. I promise you this. If there is one thing I'm willing to guarantee you, it's this. Being specific will help you a hell of a lot more than trying to do everything and not doing it that well. I've really found that, there's a freedom in eliminating the elements of your business that you don't love, or the things that you don't feel really confident about. I find that so many people, they start their businesses, and let's just say they want to be a health coach, and they focus on the things that they're not as great about. They focus on the things that they don't feel super confident about, and they let that distract them from taking action or distract them from making progress. Whereas I want you to really think about your weaknesses essentially as giving you strength. There's power that comes when you can take ownership of the fact that, no, I'm not really an expert at this. This is what I do instead. It's okay to embrace that. It's okay to share those things. And again, I believe that it gives you strength as opposed to making you weaker as a business coach. Or as a coach. So we're going to talk about this as we move forward, but remember this here. It's okay to eliminate certain things. It's okay to be not the greatest at everything under the sun. I want this program to be all about you and what you're great at and what you're passionate about, so that you can share it with everybody that comes across your path. And that those ideal clients can see that, yes, this is the person I need, because this is exactly how she can help me. Things to remember as we go through this. Again, this is simple, truly. You are probably the one making this so much harder than it needs to be. And so I want you to kind of force yourself to remember this. So often, even in my own business now, I've been doing this a while now, but it's so easy to kind of go off on a tangent, or go off on, thinking about other things that I can incorporate, or making things so much harder than it needs to be. And I literally have to tell myself all the time, Sarah, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Like, I literally have to give myself that pep talk. And I want you to kind of do the same thing yourself here. You don't have to be and do everything. Pick a few things. Pick some things that you know about your ideal client. Pick a program that you believe works. We're going to take action on it, and you're going to get clarity and confidence as you move forward. I want you to remember that we're focusing on your business today, not 5 years from now. I find that so many people get so caught up in the things that they want to do one day, or they get so caught up on FOMO, like the fear of missing out, and feeling like they're going to be missing out on something or someone if they don't incorporate certain elements of their business right now. I want you to understand that your business will and should evolve over time, right? So I want you to focus on the now. I want you to focus on what you know now about your business, what problems you can solve now, not getting distracted by what might be in the future, so that you're not making progress right now. Again, I find so many people do this. Well, I want to help single women with their health and with these particular elements, but one day I might be married. So what's going to happen then? And, what will I do with my brand as that moves forward? And that stops them from making money and making progress right now. We're not focused on the future. We're focused on today. So please keep that in mind when it comes to your business. Your business, again, will evolve. It will change. It should evolve and change. You're not supposed to be creating a business that's going to function forever, right? Like, you're not supposed to have a business that never changes, that never evolves, that never moves forward. What fun would that be, right? You don't want to be doing the same things 5 years from now. So focus on today, focus on the solutions that you can offer right now, and then allow your business to progress over time. I want you to really know and understand that the combination of doing the internal work here, with your workbooks and that kind of thing, doing the internal work and then sharing it with me is really going to be where you make the progress and get results. This is why I've created the program this way. I was going to, and I will eventually do this as a self-study program, but I wanted you to have the best of both worlds. I wanted you to have the content and the information the way you would in a normal course, so you can do the work, but then I also wanted you to have the opportunity to speak to me about it and talk to me about everything. And so again, that's why I've structured it this way. So that means I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you're working on. I want to hear what you're struggling with. The people who get results are the ones that seek support, right? Are the ones who ask questions. I, want to be honest with you and say that this is what I do. This is what I do really, really, really well. I love helping you get specific. I love helping you eliminate the noise. I love helping you focus on the now. So please, as part of this program, I want you to reach out to me. I want you to listen to these lessons. I want you to do the internal work. And then I want you to ask me questions so that together we can push forward. The people who do this are going to be the ones that get results. If you expect and try to do everything on your own, that's when you're going to stay stuck. And I don't want that for you. So please remember that. And then finally, just a reminder, I know I already said this, but truly clarity and confidence only come from you taking action. Nothing pisses me off more at this point in my business when I see somebody working on their ideal client or working on their zone of genius for months at a time and they've taken zero action. It doesn't make any sense to me. Overthinking and going over these things over and over and over again without putting anything out there has never made anyone rich. It has never made anyone successful. You're not going to be in a position where you go through these lessons, you spend time on them, you write a million notes, and then all of a sudden you're going to have this moment where, yes, I've nailed it. I think a lot of people think that that's going to happen, and it's not going to happen. You don't confirm, you don't figure out that you've got it and that you've figured all of this out until you take action, until you get the confirmation from other people that, yes, you're on the right track. When people are starting to buy your programs, or when people are saying, yes, I would love to be part of that. You need to take action to confirm that the work that you're working on is correct. So I'm begging and pleading with you to make some decisions here, to keep things simple, and then act on those decisions, and then you can always tweak and you can always fix as you move forward. Don't strive for perfection, strive for progress. And again, this progress only comes from actually taking action on everything. All right, cool. So in talking about who you are as a coach, what do you do? What problems do you help people solve? We want to figure out what I call your zone of genius. And this means what problems and what things you help people with that you're both passionate about and you're both confident about helping people with. So first and foremost, where we start with all of this is I want you to spend some time getting as specific as possible, thinking about what you are fired up about, what you're lit up about when it comes to your business in relation to your business and the things that you're selling. What do you specifically love helping people with? What are you all about? So of course, when I say in relation to your business, that this has to be in alignment with what you're selling, right? So if you are, for example, a business coach, I don't want to hear that you're passionate about your dog, right? I think that goes without saying, but I want to point that out. You need to figure out your passions in relation to what you're actually doing and what you're actually selling. If you are a health or a Beachbody coach, again, I don't want to hear that you're passionate about your dog. I want to hear what you're passionate about when it comes to health and fitness, because at the end of the day, you're selling a health and fitness related product and program. So what you talk about, what you share, what you use to what you incorporate in your free challenges or your free webinars or your ebooks, in your daily marketing, whatever it is, you want to be marketing and talking about the things that you're passionate about that are in alignment with what you're going to be selling. So please take some time here and think about, in relation to your business, what are you specifically fired up about? For a moment, I want you to kind of eliminate strategy. I want you to almost take off your business cap at this point, your business thinking cap, and just think from a passionate place. Because here's the thing. I talk to so many people and we start talking about their passions, but they're not telling me the real answer. They're telling me their passions based on the things that they think are going to make them money or the things that they think they should be saying. So I want you to drop the strategy for a moment, and I literally want you to kind of imagine and function from this place as if money didn't matter. Like, let's literally sit there and say that it doesn't matter if you didn't make another dime or another sale ever, ever, ever again. None of that matters. What would you, again, in relation to your business, talk about all day long if you could. What is that message that you want to shout from the rooftops? What do you want to talk about all day, every day with people and make them understand? So again, if you are, a health and fitness coach, what is that message that you want to share with people? What is it about food and about fitness that is your philosophy? What do you want more people to know because you believe so strongly and so passionately in it, right? And so this, again, I know we have a lot of Beachbody coaches in this program, but this means if you're not fired up about talking about clean eating, that's okay. You don't have to be fired up about clean eating. You don't have to be fired up about being a vegan. You don't have to be fired up about cardio, right? You don't have to be passionate about everything when it comes to health and fitness, but you do have to take a stand for something, right? You can't just decide, okay, well, I'm not passionate about clean eating and let that be the case. You've got to figure out what you are passionate about. So please take some time to really jot down and then share with me what your specific passions are in relation to your business. And the same thing if you're a business coach, right? Just because you decide you're a business coach doesn't mean you have to be passionate about copywriting, have to be passionate about marketing, passionate about the foundational pieces, passionate about sales funnels. All of this stuff is not created equally, right? Just because you're a business coach doesn't mean you have to represent all things about business. Just because you're a health and fitness coach doesn't mean you have to represent everything that has to do with health and fitness, right? You have to figure out who you are and what your passions are and what you're all about so that you can show people that this is Julie, this is Heather, and this is what Julie and Heather are all about. This is what she markets about. This is what she talks about. This is what she really believes so strongly in. When you do this, you show other people what working with you would be like, right? You're sharing your marketing from an intentional place. You're not just putting up chicken recipes to put up chicken recipes. You're putting up marketing and you're creating marketing and you're creating programs and you're figuring out your ideal client based on these things, right? So please spend some time to really think about, in relation to your business, what is your passion? What are you lit up by? What are you fired up about? If you need to literally sit there and pretend you're out at a bar having a cocktail with one of your girlfriends and she says, okay, I really need to lose weight or I really need to build my business, what are the things that you're sitting there wanting to you're getting fired up about? And I know we've all felt that way, right? I've sat there and talked about business and marketing related things and I can kind of go through the motions, but there's certain things really like this program that get me fired up, that make me physically have a reaction because I'm excited to share it, right? Like I'm waving my hands around. I'm sharing this thing because I want to make an impact with that message. I want to share it with the world. What is that thing for you? Please take some time to get as specific and as vivid and as possible here so that you can start to shape who you are and what you do so that we can have this foundation piece in your business jump started, right? This is the first part of all of this. With that, on the other side of all of this, I want you to think about what your expertise is. Now, when I say the word expertise, I don't want you to necessarily feel like you have to have a degree in something or you have to be, certified, anything like that. The goal here, the whole purpose here is for you to feel 150% confident that you can help people with certain elements of their health or certain elements of their business, right? Again, it is not your job to help everybody with everything. Just because you're a health coach doesn't mean you have to know vegan eating, paleo eating, this diet, that diet, this workout. Doesn't mean you have to know everything, right? Again, there's a power in embracing what you're really good at and eliminating the things that you're not so great at. It's okay to own the fact that, I don't really know much about veganism. I don't know much about XYZ. Maybe refer them to somebody else or, really stand tall and that's not what I do, but this is what I do, right? This is where you get your power. This is where you are able to position yourself as the person that can help people. This is all about confidence. This is all about you being able to say on a discovery call, in your marketing, whatever it is, this is who I am and this is what I do really, really, really well. And you being able to stand tall and confident and rock the hell out of that, right? This is the purpose here. I think something that's helpful sometimes is thinking about other coaches in this scenario. Like, think about, if you're a Beachbody coach, maybe think about somebody else that's on your team, or maybe think about another Beachbody coach out there. Or if you're an independent coach, think about somebody else that's a business coach or a mindset coach. I feel like this is the one time that the comparison game is helpful, because you're sitting there looking at that person being like, okay, this person does this, but I do this better. They represent this, but I represent that, right? Being able to see, okay, this person does something, but I do something different. There's a power in that. So be honest with yourself here about what you do, why somebody would benefit so greatly from working with you as opposed to somebody else, right? Because again, you need to clearly be able to show people that by working with you, these are the results that they can expect. This is the information they can expect to hear from you. This is the progress they can expect to make. This is, again, we use the example of being a Beachbody coach. If you work with me, these are the things that we're going to focus on. These are the ways that we're going to work through this program. This is what you're going to learn from me. Just saying, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach and I'm going to help you with your health, that doesn't really fire anybody up, right? Again, I'm going to say this a million times. People spend money when they see that they can get the results and the solutions they desire. So this starts with you being able to clearly articulate what problems you passionately and confidently solve. So what are these things for you? What is your expertise? Why would somebody work with you over another similar coach out there, right? Again, you can't be an expert at everything, and that's a good thing. Embrace what makes you different as opposed to letting that be an insecurity. I promise you there's a freedom in admitting that you're not an expert at something. When I first launched my coaching business, I was initially a marketing expert. I was initially a marketing coach, and that was my background. And so I would have people come to me and they'd want me to help them with their sales funnels, or they would want me to help them with their their copywriting, right? Or their sales strategy. And especially in the beginning of my business, I didn't feel like that was something that I could do really well. That's not something that I really felt like, yes, I can totally help you with this. But instead of embracing that, I let that be an insecurity for me. I allowed that to be something that kind of made me feel bad about myself as a business owner, feeling like, oh my God, I'm not a really good marketing coach because I can't help people with this, or I can't help people with that. But when I really embraced and focused on the things that I was really confident about, my business took off in a whole new way, because I was able to create programs. I was able to share confidently and passionately about what I did do, right? And so again, when I was able to talk to a potential ideal customer, or I was able to share on a webinar, when I could really embrace the things that I was great at and passionate about and eliminate everything else, it was this new phase of my business. There was this freedom in it. And again, not feeling like I had to be everything to everyone, standing tall in what I did do, eliminating anything else. It really allowed me to confidently share with other people what I did, and the sales started to reflect that. So again, I want you to remember this here. You don't have to be great at everything. You don't have to be passionate about everything. You don't have to stand for everything. Focus on what you are passionate and what you are confident about now, today. Get specific as possible with these things, and we're going to use those things to figure out your ideal client, and then to shape an offering that aligns with those things, and then we can go through this formula over and over and over again. Your zone of genius, again, should be the place where you're operating from. And this should be a place where you're helping people with the things that fall into both categories. I want you to be passionate about what you do. I want you to be confident about what you do. If there is anything you're attempting to bring into your business right now that you're not passionate about and you're not confident about, I want you to eliminate it. I want you to eliminate the word should from your business vocabulary when it comes to this. I say that because I hear from so many people who are still being like, well, I feel like I should do this because this is my background, or I should do this because somebody else out there is doing that. And that really causes so much confusion and so much overthinking on so many coaches' parts. And so again, I really want to encourage you to eliminate that. Don't focus on what you think you should be doing. Don't focus on what other people are doing. Stay in your lane, your passions, your confidence, and eliminate the noise and distractions of everything else. Again, this gives you power. This gives you freedom when you keep this simple, when you keep this streamlined, and you have tunnel vision when it comes to who you are and what you do. I've said it already, but really, if you're not excited and you're not confident about what you do, how can you possibly market anything successfully, right? It's almost impossible. You have to be excited and passionate about these things. Otherwise, nobody else is going to feel into working with you, especially as a coach. We're not just selling generic items, right? We're not out there selling pencils that don't mean anything to anyone. We're selling coaching. We're selling working with us. We're selling support. We're selling the thing that is going to get somebody from where they are now to where they want to be. And so we have to make sure that we're showing that off again with passion and confidence. I'll say this again. We can always go back and add things in later into your business as your business evolves. So if you're in a situation where you don't feel 100% confident about something right now, put it on the back burner for right now. You can always go back to it. Stop with the FOMO. Stop with being so afraid of missing out on certain people or on certain things and feeling like you have to create your entire business strategy today, right? For forever. This is about today. Pick things that are aligned and intentional and passionate and you're confident about today, and you can always go back and add and evolve. That's what should happen. But by sitting there and focusing on, well, if I want to incorporate something later, I find messes so many of you up, and I don't want that. I want you to focus on the now. One thing that I find when it comes to figuring out who you are as a coach is really incorporating your story allows you to stand even taller and more confident in who you are and what you do. More than likely, the things that you've accomplished really align nicely with the work that you've done on your zone of genius. So here's what I mean by that. My theory and the thing that I want you to understand as you're figuring all of this out is your job as a coach is essentially to get people from where they are now to where they want to be. And so the analogy that I'm sure you've heard me use before is essentially your ideal customers right now are on Island A. And Island A is where they're frustrated, they're confused, they don't know how to lose the weight, they don't know how to launch their business, they don't know how to get over certain limiting beliefs. Whatever it is, they're struggling, they're frustrated, they're in their own version of their personal hell for whatever reason. But Island B is where they want to be. Island B is where they've made the transformation. Island B is where they've lost the 20 pounds. Island B is where they finally started to get clients, whatever Island B means to them, right? And you, in your marketing and in your business and in your offering, as we're going to talk about in future lessons, your job is to show those ideal clients that you are the boat to get them from Island A to Island B, right? And so in thinking about that and in understanding that this is how all of this works, I want you to understand what your Island A to Island B transformation was, right? So if you're a Beachbody coach and you were 50 pounds overweight and now you've lost those 50 pounds, I want you to get really clear on your Island A. I want you to get really clear on your Island B, and I want you to get really clear on what the boat was for you. What helped you get from where you were to where you are now? Because I find that with most people, more than likely, the boat, the things that helped you get to where you are now, that's actually your zone of genius, because you're passionate about those things because they helped you so much, and you're confident about helping people with those things because you've done it yourself. This is 100% true in my own situation. I'm going to share that in the next slide. This is 100% true in my transformation. When I think about launching my coaching business, where I was on Island A and where I am now on Island B, the things that I'm most passionate about and the things that I'm most excited to help people with and the things that I feel best that I can help people with are the things that help me transition, doing those foundational pieces, keeping things simple. That's what I'm fired up about, and that's what helped get me to where I am, right? So I don't think it's a coincidence that the things that we're most passionate about are the things that have helped us the most, right? So I want you to kind of work on your zone of genius and work on your own story and kind of cross-check yourself here and see what is in alignment, what makes sense, what pieces are aligned with your story and with your zone of genius. And those, to me, are the things that you focus on right now. And of course, if you have questions on these things, that's what I'm here for. one thing I want to remind you of is that there is no need to be perfect. I hear a lot of people say, well, I'm not quite on island B, right? I'm not quite at my goal weight, or I'm not quite at the perfect business situation. You don't have to be a millionaire or a bikini model to be on island B. You're always going to be a few steps ahead of somebody else. So again, reflect on where you are now, be proud of what you've accomplished. And as we're going to talk about in lesson 2, I want you to focus on the person that's just a few steps behind you, right? So again, maybe you have 50 pounds you want to lose and you've only lost 25 so far. What helped you lose those 25 pounds? Where were you before those 25 pounds? What were you confused about? What were you struggling with? Where are you now? Why does it feel so good? And what things allowed you to get to island B, right? We want to focus on where you are now. Again, don't feel like you have to be in this picture perfect scenario to make an impact, because again, you're always a few steps ahead of somebody else that's out there. So again, to kind of put this into context, my own example is my zone of genius, the thing that I am fired up to help people with, and the thing that I'm really confident about helping other people with is helping them figure out exactly how they're supposed to help people, what their zone of genius is, who their ideal client is, and how they structure their offerings to be really simple. I love talking about these things. I'm really good at helping with these people with these things, especially helping them simplify this, and I know how to help them drill down on what actually matters now and eliminating everything else, eliminating all the other noise. And the reason that I'm so passionate about this and the reason I'm so confident about this is, again, because this is a huge part of my story. I was on Island A struggling for so long with so many different ideas, so many thoughts, so much overthinking, so much paying attention to what other people were doing. And I finally made progress in my coaching business when I stopped all of that, when I kept it simple, when I started taking action, when I just focused on problem solving and doing that in a really simple way. That's when I was able to launch my coaching business to $8,000 in my very first month. I love sharing that story. I love embracing that story and sharing that story with my ideal customers, showing them that yes, this is how I got from island A to island B, and this is how I help other people do it, right? These things aligning aren't just a coincidence, right? Like I said before, when you've done something yourself, you're passionate about sharing it with other people. When you've done something yourself, you feel confident about it because you're good at doing it, right? For the most part. Of course, this isn't a black and white rule, but I find that it's the case with so many of us. So I want you to think about all of this together. What are you passionate about? What are you really good at? And how does it align with your story? And this is how we start to shape who you are as a coach, so that we can figure out who your ideal client is based on that. And then we can create a program based on those things that helps solve those problems. And again, we're focusing on the now. We're keeping this simple because we can always go back and repeat this. Thus why I've called it a formula. It's not something you're going to do one time and then everything's smooth sailing for the rest of your business. Again, it shouldn't be that way. You should evolve. You should grow. You should get better at certain things. You should create new things, create new programs, create new marketing for your ideal customers and for your audience. But by going through these 3 steps is how, in my opinion, you do this over and over again, right? So I want you to, of course, take action. I want you to listen to this presentation as many times as you need to so that you really get this concept. I feel like what I've just shared is really simple, but I also know what it feels like for it to be hard, right? Because it wasn't that long ago, this felt very hard and very blurry. And sometimes we need to hear messages more than once for it to really make sense. So again, obviously go through this presentation, and if you need to listen to it more than once, do that so that you really understand this concept. I want you to fill out the workbook to the best of your ability. I want you to be honest. I want you to be vivid. I want you to be specific here. No telling me things like, I like helping motivate people. I help inspiring people. That doesn't mean anything. I want you to get as vivid and as specific as possible. And when you hit a wall, I want you to share with me. I want you to especially share with me on the group coaching calls. I know that we have a private Facebook group, and you're of course welcome to tag me whenever you need. But I promise you, you're going to make the most progress by getting online live with me so that we can discuss this and we can have a one-on-one verbal conversation, you're going to make way more progress with us doing that because we can dive deeper than we could in the Facebook group. So, simple questions, feel free to tag me in the Facebook group. And again, feel free to, tag me with anything in the Facebook group. But I want to kind of remind you here that you're going to make the most progress and you're going to get the best results when we can have a one-on-one conversation and go deeper with everything. So we can really eliminate all the noise and all the things that are keeping you stuck and really make progress. And then just a final reminder when it comes to you taking action, you're never going to feel like you've gotten this 100% right. Again, you're not going to have one of those moments where yes, I've nailed it, until you take action, until you put things out there. I've shared this with some of you, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about this in the offering in our lesson 3, where we talk about your offerings. But for a while there, I thought this is my zone of genius. I thought the foundation was my thing, right? But I wasn't sure. I thought about it over and over again. I went back and forth about it. I decided to launch a beta program, and it was one of the best things that I ever did. And what I mean by beta is I ran it as kind of a free program, or no, it wasn't free. I'm sorry. It was a super discounted program where I was like, listen, this is basically a test. I want to test out this program. I want to test out these concepts. And so for that reason, I want to offer it. I think I offered it for like $49. It was a 4-week group program where week 1, we talked about what you do. Week 2, we talked about your ideal client, so on and so forth. It was really a win-win for me because it was a chance for me to test what I thought worked, for me to test what I thought I was passionate and an expert at. I was able to test kind of the process of teaching people things. I was able to test the process of teaching other people this, and other people got a lot of really great content for a really no-brainer price. And it was one of the best things that I ever did because all of these things that I had thought about previously, I took action on these things. I confirmed that I was in the right place. I confirmed that I was on the right track, and it gave me so much clarity and confidence for moving forward, right? I never would have had that clarity and confidence had I not taken action and done these things. So I want to remind you of that. I want you to put all these pieces in place. I want you to make progress through these workbooks. And then we're going to talk about how you can take action on all of this so that you can feel as good and as confident as you've been wanting to feel about who you are as a coach. And again, you can create program after program, by going through this formula and selling more and more of your things that make you money and that solve the problems of the people who you really want to work with, right? That's the whole goal of this program. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you have some clarity. I really hope you'll share with me, specifically verbally on the group coaching calls, but also in the Facebook group, so that again, you can get through this lesson, make some progress, and be on that path to being that unstoppable coach that I know that you can be. Talk to you soon. Bye.